Let's climb. Okay, friends. Good morning. We just had a young fella here pop up. It's Jordan, right?
Yeah, Jordan.
Yeah, it's Jordan. Jordan Sunnis. He's been here forever. His family friends actually lives right down by my dad in Yellow Point, and they're in one of the books around here called The Chronicle of Ladysmith, and it talks about the road names and the people that came here and actually, I guess, homesteaded, really.
Yeah, pretty much. My family was out here before there was even a road in Nanaimo. So my family came here in the mid 1800s.
That's exactly right.
From Prussia, and because Nanaimo, big timber and coal mining town. So
That's
my
right.
family came out and bought our piece of property right out on the water, and we used dog fishing,
Yep.
and we sold the oil to the coal mining camps because
That's
whale
right.
oil at that time was really hard to come by. So that's how my family ended up with that piece of property.
You know, that's super interesting because that's a part of the puzzle that I wasn't, like, I know that in that book, and I don't know if you've read it yet, but it says the Sunnises would have been your, like, great-great-great-grandfather or something like that, was sailing by, and going by right
Yep.
there in Yellow Point, and he was looking for a place that he could not drive by. He couldn't sail by, and it was that piece of property right there.
Yeah, the bay right there.
The bay. So
Yeah.
because it was a hidden little bay, friends, if you knew where it was, it's actually, you do know where it is because I took my dad and Hogan and I were fishing out there. Remember, friends? And so it's pretty cool. So he's like sixth generation as well, seventh
Yeah,
generation.
I'm sixth generation.
Six,
yeah.
same as Hogan.
Well, I remember when you were out fishing with your old man and Hogan there. I was working in Manitoba at the time, and I saw it. I'm like,
That's
I
right.
actually messaged you on Instagram. I'm like, oh, you found my little honey hole. 'Cause
Yeah,
there's that
that's-
long reef that runs out there.
Yeah, and my dad, of course, has been fishing there since.
Oh, exactly right.
forever,
It's a
so.
spot to go.
So anyway, friends, it's kind of neat. He just pulled up and he actually reached out to me on Instagram. He's got an old 372 here that he's been tuning, and it's not running quite right. I think it's got some more potential to it, but he's smart. He doesn't want to blow the sucker up. Good thing I see right when I come up is the air cleaner's clean. It's an older air cleaner, but it is clean. That's the first thing to check when you're tuning your saws. Don't just start cranking them out in the bush if you're not running that good. Make sure your air cleaner is clean. That's the one thing about the Huskies. We'll be out falling.
Yep.
And, come noon, she starts coughing a bit. Take her off. Pour some gas in this little thing right here. Give her one of these. Right?
her out.
Soak her out. And away you go. And the RPM actually instantly changes, friends. So get the air cleaner clean. Don't just start cranking on your high jet. So we went in, we pulled out this little plastic thing because it just gets in your way. It's more of a guide to get you in there. But we've got the saw warm. So Jordan just wanted me to have a look at it. So that's what we're going to do. And we thought we'd bring you guys in. So what I'm going to do when I always get a saw, somebody come up to me and shows me this, the first thing I do, friends, is I actually turn the jets right in. And I count the turns. And I find out where it's at. So let's do that on the high jet. So we remember where it is. This strikes me, knowing these saws, by the sound of this saw, this sounds like about a turn out.
Okay.
And I don't know, we're gonna find out. So there's half, one, exactly. See?
Bang on a turn.
So it's one turn, I can hear
Yeah.
it. It's one turn out. So you've got room here, brother. And
Beautiful.
and you're gonna notice it in your hands.
Oh, perfect.
You're gonna notice it. So let's go back out. Let's go back out. One. Friends, check your jets. Just if you buy a saw and you get one and you want to find out what's going on with it, just freaking get at the jets. Find out where they are. You don't know nothing if you don't know where they are. This will tell me lots about this saw. Now I'll bet you this low jet is about 1 1/4. Maybe one, but strikes me as it's open a little more than that. I went the wrong way, friends. So let's just go and start at 1. Did you know where it was?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I didn't even try and really mess around with it because I just didn't want to tinker
Okay.
with it and just bang.
So 1 and 1.
Okay.
That's where we're at. 1 and 1 right now. the low jet, but I actually went the wrong way. I gapped out. So we just turned it in and we pulled it back out to one turn. That sounds to me a little bit lean on the low jet.
Okay.
It just sounds, it could be almost starting to starve for fuel.
Yep.
Just by the sound of it. So I'm going to crack it open. We leave the high jet alone right now. Always go to your low jet first. So let's just crack it up again. Okay, friends, so what just happened here is that we said it, I could feel where the tuning was out, but what was concerning to me is that when I went to tune the high jet, and you saw that,
Yeah.
it didn't really peak up like they're supposed to.
Yeah.
They're supposed to actually go like right away. And I was suspect something was wrong right away, so I actually turned the high jet right off. We shut it right down, and I cracked it wide open, and it was still cracking. You could probably run it.
Oh yeah.
So that tells me there's an issue now. That could be a couple different things. It could be your levering meter,
Okay.
which could be up. Do you know what that is? The levering meter in there? It could be up. I don't know if these are, if the diaphragm's on the bottom of these. I think it is. And this is your pump side. So yeah, that's probably what that is. So that's a little bit odd. Okay, so that's interesting.
Gabe?
Yeah, we've got. Good to see you. Back from down at the shop there. Yeah. Nice to see you again. This is Jordan Sunnis.
Jordan, nice to meet you.
So we're tuning away at this thing.
Yeah.
You're on live. Say hi, Robbie.
Hey guys.
Friends, this is Power Saw Rob's dad. The man is a wizard on the two-strokes and the mowers and all that. He's been working down at Ajax downtown for many years. He's just a respected man in the industry.
So we think the metering lever cranked way high, or
Just the new carburetor.
a carburetor issue. Just give it a kit, or like you said, they get worn out.
They do.
They actually get worn out.
Those little orifices. Yeah, whipping through there.
We talked about that.
It acts like sandblasting.
That's right. Over time.
Yeah, over a period of time, and because these are older saw,
Yeah.
you know, it's 20. Ever.
So the good thing is you're not going to cook it
Beautiful.
because it's not going to lean out on you. And it actually revs.
Yeah.
But I would throw a new carb at it.
Okay.
It's not tuning on the high jet at all. So you're at 3/4 of a turn. Your low's a little better. Restart probably should be good. Yeah.
Sounds pretty good. Sounds healthy.
Yeah, he's got the dual port Walker muffler on it,
Oh,
which
yeah,
always works good.
Yeah.
But that high jet is an interesting thing. So we pop that back out. I think we pop that back out 3/4 of a turn. Let's just double
3/4,
check.
I think.
Okay, we'll shut this down.
I probably got an extra one kicking around the house.
Have you?
Oh yeah.
I've had a few of those come through the thing, and I've just parted them out, right? So
there we are, friends.
need a
Hey,
carburetor.
funny. Saw guys just start pulling up left and right. It's good to see these guys. Make sure you say hi to these folks, eh? All right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There.
I
Nice.
just like right.
Friends, I have got some really cool. Jordan here. We were just talking filing. We got his carb figured out. What it is the thing's worn right out. The last time I talked to you guys, we had the high jet turn right off, but yet the saw was still screaming, and it was fat. And we had the high jet cranked right off. Remember a couple of weeks back, friends? We had that going with the 66, with Tin Man 66. So, anyways, Jordan's 25. He's been cutting trees. You've been on it how long now? 4 or 5 years you've been in the industry? No, longer than
In
that.
the industry, doing it as full time, 5 years.
5 years now.
Yeah.
Steady cutting.
Steady.
Yeah, that's good. So he's running a 32, same setup I like to run. This is my setup. 372, 32. He's running a skip tooth, XL chain, organ. I just kind of was inspecting his filing in that. And I always ask guys because I like to know their system. I like to know, see if there's any gains they can get anywhere. And his filing looks great. His hook is great. It's not overly hooked. It's good. He's both sides very even. Things are looking good. And I asked him, I said, use a Raker gauge, eh? Thinking that he did. And he said, no, I don't. I said, oh, really? And I said, would you mind if we just check something out? And I can show him something. And he's like, yeah, of course. This kid likes to learn. He's not one of them guys that's like, I got to figure it out. Don't worry about me, right?
Oh, far from really.
No, you're good that way. And I urge young guys to be open to learning. And I urge old guys to be open to learning. So here's what we done, friends. I asked him to have a look at this with me. So I grabbed my Raker gauge. The 35 is a little, this one that I run. Carlton, right? And I put it on. So I want to show you. Okay, friends, I wanted to bring you guys in so instead of me just flapping, you'd understand and see what I'm talking about. So let's just go over this with a Raker gauge, and Jordan can see what we already went over some stuff, and we can see. So I'm here. This is where I'm at. Okay, so friends, so he's about not quite halfway down the chain, approximately, not quite. I wouldn't say halfway. Actually, it's not. Regardless, it gets worse as you get back. Understand what I'm saying? Not bad. We probably got all the bad ones, George. Oh no, there's one. Oh no, that's not too bad neither. That's good. There's one there.
Yeah.
So you see, friends, there's one there. He's actually he's actually doing pretty good without a gauge. I'll be honest, he is. He's doing pretty good, but this one's high. There we go. See, that took quite a bit of meat.
Yeah.
And that's because I can guarantee this chain's this too smaller than some of the others.
Yeah.
So friends, I came into this with the camera probably halfway through more than halfway through the chain. We found some pretty rough ones there. So he had a chatter going probably. It wasn't terrible, but when you see the difference and feel the difference of a smooth cutting chain, it's like night and day, and it's going to save you out in the end.
This isn't too bad, but we're picking up some meat here. There's one we started already. So I think we're done. That one's low. That one's not even barely picking up, but that's okay. So I think we've caught up now. Right here. So my point is that all the teeth, not all, but some teeth were a little haywire, taking a bigger chunk than the other ones. The chips were all different sizes, is what I'm saying to you. So now with the Raker gauge, everything's looking good. He's probably going to notice a cut. In the cut, it's going to be a little hungrier because you were high in general. You will notice it. I wish I had turned it on sooner, friends, because Jordan, we had a few that were pretty haywire.
Oh, there was a few that were out of there, yeah, for sure.
There were some haywire ones there.
Yeah, that chain met a dirty one there for a second.
Did it?
Dirty log, yeah.
Yeah.
There was some gravel. I tried to knock it off the best I could with the axe, but halfway through the cut, I got a nice one. That's why some of the teeth are a little bit smaller than the others. But
Yeah, well, that's why that Raker was really high. We found a high one, and I looked at the freaking chain, and one of the teeth was really small, and I think it is that one. It's that one right there.
Yeah, I knocked like half the tooth right off of it.
Did you?
Oh, man, brand new chain too. I was like, oh, you gotta be kidding me.
Oh,
But
yeah.
it is what it is.
So friends, I'm going to show you this because this is the one that was so it creates a chatter. So that's what happens, friends. This is where when you just get on your rakers and you do your normally say you give it 2 or 3 strokes, right, Jordan?
Yep.
Usually kind of what we do. But then what happens is this particular tooth, friends, is way smaller than the rest of them. This isn't going to, there. See, a lot of them are like little more than half the chain, but this guy got hammered, and this is the one that was down low, and we ended up taking a huge bunch off of this Raker. So that's sticking up, chattering, this chain probably not, or tooth, not even really taking a big chunk of wood.
No, probably not.
So it's just gonna smooth out. Jordan, thanks for letting us do that with you, buddy.
Yeah, thank you.
That's great. No, you're welcome. Yeah, that's cool, friends. So that was just something that kind of flew up and hit us in the face today. I thought I'd talk about it. I think Jordan will probably be onto a Raker gauge now.
Oh yeah.
I don't know, but I think he will. He's a smart young man, and he does this full time. He works for a big tree service. And where are you right now? You're back east, aren't you?
No,
you in town
I moved
now?
back home.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I got tired of doing the whole for like the last 2 years. Really,
Yeah.
I moved back at the beginning of the summer.
Yeah.
I worked from Ontario, west pretty much, Ontario, Manitoba, Saskatchewan, Alberta.
Wow.
All over the place.
Well, they got a good man in you, buddy.
Yeah, well, thank you.
They got a good man in you. Guys, say hi to Jordan. He's like 6th generation, same as Hogan here on Vancouver Island, Cedar, BC. Thanks for watching, everybody. Pick up a Raker gauge, get cut and smooth. Stop jackhammering your wood, will you? Over and out, friends. Okay, friends, we're just going to give it a run. He says it's running better already. He used to have to prime it, and it seems to be going pretty good now.
Oh, beautiful saws.
Well, it's pulling.
Yep.
It's pulling. I think the next time you file it, just give it a nice little dress.
Yep.
It'll drop it right in the pocket. You'll love
Gotcha.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Because
nice.
it seemed just a tad hungry there, but it was right there, right?
And it probably is, because remember that Raker gauge is 35.
Yeah.
So I find it, if that was full house, that thing would be like, oh.
Yeah.
So, but like I say, I would personally, before going into your next cutting scenario,
Yeah.
I would probably just give it that nice top plate freshen up. You know the one?
Yep. Gotcha. Yep.
Yeah, that would just make it beautiful, because it's pulling good, feels like a walker saw.
Yeah.
And like I say, you got your filing down, so that's good. But I guarantee you'll enjoy that Raker gauge stuff.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, even right there, I definitely noticed a difference.
Did you feel it?
It's not missing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's pulling fine. I thought it could be smoother, but I'm used to full house chain,
Yeah.
and full house is smooth.
Yeah.
So, but it's cutting great. It's cutting absolutely wonderful, actually. But I think after a nice filing, it'll probably even be smoother.
Gotcha.
Good. I'll take that from you. You can come in or do whatever's good for you.
Oh, you're good right there.
So, friends, this is Iron Horse's saw, full house. I want Jordan to feel the difference. He's run full house. He knows what it is, but the saw, he hasn't felt the difference between what he's got there. So we're just going to do a quick couple cuts with this thing. I don't know. It should start pretty good, this saw. It's a different... There it goes.
Fancy holder. That
Yeah, exactly. Friends, we're morphing along today as we're going. This Jordan's a nice young fella, and he's interested, and he's asked a few questions, and I'm always obliged to help out, or at least share what I know and what has helped me. Having your rakers too hungry is no good in big wood. It's just no good. He showed up here with a sharp saw, with his rakers just a bit uneven, and all I want to say to him is, listen, brother, you got a good filing system going here. I think you could find yourself in a better place, especially down the road with a Raker gauge. And he's onto it. And I just realized, friends, do you guys remember when I was at Ajax, probably 2 years ago? I bought a mitt full of these old Husky Raker gauges, but the steel's not that good. They changed it. So what we're going to do is we've given Jordan one. And what I'm excited about is it has a low setting, which is a hardwood setting, and a high setting. It's got low hardwood and softwood settings. And it's this one here, friends. Remember this one? I still use it, but they've changed the metal, and I'll show you why I don't like these gauges anymore. Here it is here. Here's the file. Look. It files the metal. So you end up over time changing that. So just be careful with these. Just don't really grind down, because you'll start to change this. You'll see it. I think I've got one over there, and everything comes out exactly the same.
Gotcha.
Take that.
Well, thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. It's brand new. Use it, and I think you're going to love it, brother. So isn't that interesting, eh, friends? I remembered I had a couple of those. Okay, now I just wanted to bring you guys in on that because now he goes away with a Raker gauge today, so he's going to start on that. That's a good deal. See you, George.
Friends, coming up live on the next video, well, not live, but you know what I'm saying. This is a project I started in 2015. It's funny, it's got 395 views on this video from way back then. Friends, this one's a deep one for me. I love it. I'm going to share this with you. It's a restoration of this 1959 Ludwig. That's coming up next, friends. Love yous all. Winter's setting in. Let's have a good one. Be kind, friends.